Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lisa and today I'm going to be creating with you in my traveler's notebook and talking Disney as well. We're going to have a little Disney story time. I am collaborating today with Chloe Murray, who also receives my Lollipop Box Club kits, which I am going to be using today. We're going to be using the January Follow Your Heart kit. Chloe is on my team. I am the owner of the company and she does get a kit for free, and she designs with it and just shows how to use the kit, how she uses the kit, and shares inspiration. So I'm collaborating with Chloe today, so you can head over to her channel as well. And if you love Disney, you get a bonus bit, as Chloe is also a Disney fan. She has a trip coming up very soon, so her channel is definitely worth checking out. And she's going to be creating, I think she's creating in her traveler's notebook today as well. And you'll be able to see what she's been creating, and it's going to be a Disney story as well. So it's a really fun collaboration, double the fun if you're a Disney fan, as well as you get Disney creativity and stories as well. So I'll leave Chloe's link below for you to go and check her out. So I dedicated this whole traveler's notebook to our trip in the summer, and I really love my traveler's notebook, but I want it to be a bit more fun. I've started adding some bits in the front here for the trip, but I think I'm going to actually make it a bit more appealable. I've got some receipts. I've got like a receipt, California State Park there in the front. I've got one of our boarding passes for Delta. I've got the aerial tramway from Palm Springs, the tickets there. I just thought it would be a really fun way to include extra memorabilia, but at the moment it looks a bit plain and boring. I even have added one of the Disney coffee, what do you call them? You know, the little protector things from Joffrey's, which is the Disney coffee brand. Well, it's not a Disney brand, it's a local brand in Tampa that supply coffee in Walt Disney World. So I thought that would be really fun. So I'm going to be doing something with that as well today. I have added a little Disney clip there on the back, and I've popped in our park maps. I thought that would be a really cool idea. I've got our California ones here, and also the Universal one actually from when we went to Universal Studios in Hollywood. So I popped those three in the back, but I thought it would be a really fun place to not only have my trip stories, but to add some extra memorabilia as well. So that I'll be doing that today. I will be creating a new page, and today we are going to be talking Splash Mountain. So I really hope you enjoy this fun video. Please give me a thumbs up if you love creative videos, and also if you love Disney videos as well. Actually, leave me a comment below. I would love to know, because I know lots of you love the whole creative thing. I know lots of you love Disney, but if you are a Disney memory maker as well, or memory keeper, let me know. Please leave me a comment below. I'd love to know how many of you are the same as me and love documenting your Disney trips. So thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed today's video. So this is the Follow Your Heart kit that I'm going to be using. I do still have a few of these available, so I'll leave the link below for you, and I'll also link up the unboxing video as well. I am going to be creating a double page today in my traveler's notebook, and I've got a few bits and pieces here, and I've already printed off 3 photos. I love being able to print off the photos. Things like printing off your own ride photos is really handy when you print them off yourself, because you can just obviously change the size to whatever suits you. So to start with, I wanted to create a circle. So I've got a circle cutter here. If you don't have a circle cutter, you can just cut around something like a small saucer or something like that. I actually bought this one from Creative Memories. I don't know, do they still do parties? It used to be a thing, you know, when you host a party, like what, who else did them? Tupperware, oh, what was the homeware brand? I can't think what they're called. My mind's just gone blank. Oh, you know, when they had all the stoneware, and I bought pizza cutters and all various things from them. Anyway, I bought it from a house party ages and ages ago, and I love it. I've used this circle cutter for so many years. That's the name of that kitchen brand is going to bug me now. It's going to come to me probably after I've done the video. If you remember it, leave me a comment below. And they used to show you like how to do quick recipes and things like that. Right, I am completely going off track now. I want to find the center, kind of more or less. This is a bit of an experiment. I haven't actually done this before. And I want to cut out, do you know, actually I'm going to paint it yellow first, or colour it yellow. Or do I do it in, no, I'm going to colour it when it's in the book. Let's, and what I want to do is then stick it on my page. I'm going to cut some out though, because I want to miss some bits like that. I also don't want them all pointy. I want some straight, and I don't want it to be perfect. Who likes perfect anyway? Are you a perfectionist when you craft? I am definitely not. I like the idea of tearing some of these off as well. I just want like a rough circle. I don't want it to be perfect. Let's get some more done here, and I'm going to continue round until my circle is done. I'm now sticking in the strips. I know it's not going to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. I want a space in between. And I'm just using a little bit of 3D tape on the back, purely because I want to be able to reposition it. I know it's not going to be spot on to start with, and that's fine, but at least by doing the sticky tape, I can easily move things around. Do you know, that's not actually gone too badly. This one is too big, so I'm just going to trim that one down, and that will work fine. That's actually worked out. I haven't actually needed to maneuver them around. That's actually worked out much better than I expected, and I'm just going to add a little bit more tape to those that need it. And then the idea is the photos are going to go across the middle. I do, however, want to add some colour, and I have got these amazing mermaid pens that my friend Danielle gifted to me, so I'm going to colour these with the mermaid pens. So I've coloured that in with the mermaid markers. As I've got water colour paper underneath, I am going to spray them with some water there, and I'm looking forward to watching those colours run a little bit. That looks so cool already. And I'm also going to add a little bit, what colour shall we add next? I've got this Byron Bay, it's like a teal colour. I'm going to add a little bit of that in between. And as the paper's really wet, that's going to run really nicely. And I'm just going to spray that a little bit more and leave that to dry. I do really like the effect of soaking up paints and inks with kitchen towel, and as you can see I always reuse mine, which I really like doing because sometimes you get the leftovers from a previous project, you get a little bit of extra colour. Like there I've got some of the pink. I really like doing that. It's like a little surprise each time. So I'm just going to press that down, and one, that dries it up nicely, and two, you get like an extra print. You get like, as you can see, a little bit of a textured effect there. I really like that look. I am going to dry that and then get ready for my next layer. Anne-Marie recently sent me a message asking what brand of heat tool I use to dry my projects, as the one that she has seems to be too high and is burning when she's using hers to emboss. This particular one is just a Dovecraft. It's a UK brand. It's cheap and cheerful, but does the trick. I've had it for years, never had any trouble with it. Another brand that I have is also just a cheap one, which I bought secondhand off eBay, and I don't have any trouble with that one either. Whilst drying that, some of the corners that weren't stuck on so well started to peel up, and I started to think that I really liked that effect. So I purposely peeled some over. I am now going to work on the photos, but I will keep some of those over, and I think I might add a bit more colour to those. It's just something that's happened. It wasn't planned, but I really, really like that look. I've just laid my photos out there. I am going to cut off any bits that are going to kind of like get in my way a little bit, because I want to be able to stick my photos down flat. So I'm just going to take those away. I've just trimmed this paper down from the kit. I am going to ruffle up the edges a little bit, give them a little bit of a distressed look. My scissors aren't very sharp, so it's quite easy holding them like this, but obviously go careful if you've got sharp scissors. As I've taken the middle section out there that was sticking up, that makes it so much easier now to stick down. Making sure that folds nicely. And I am now going to add my photos. I am going to cut this one in half. Now, Splash Mountain, we were so looking forward to riding this one in California. It's a little bit different to the one in Walt Disney World. You sit behind each other, which we were really looking forward to. And whereas in Walt Disney World, you sit next to each other. And the ride is slightly shorter. The one in Walt Disney World, it's something like 11 minutes. It's a really long ride. But the other thing was, I'm going to need to move these slightly. I think actually I can get away with it like that. We weren't sure how wet you were going to get. Holly never likes to get wet. Louis loves to get wet. And when you go on a ride that you're not very familiar with, you don't really know. Like we know with Splash Mountain, generally we don't really get wet. You get a little bit damp in places. But there is one point after you've done the big drop and you're waiting almost just to go around, so you go through the zippity-doo-dah music, where you can sometimes get the splash if you're unfortunate from the ride vehicle that's coming down the slide next to you. But we weren't quite sure how we would be on this road, and as you can see from there, we got drenched. Louis was the one sat at the front. As he likes getting wet, we can always chuck him to the front of the rides, and he loved it and he got drenched. The rest of us, because you can sit one behind each other like that, you can actually duck. But what we always tend to do, because you know you get the camera straight away when you do the big drop, so what I always do, because it is a good drop as well, you can almost smile for the camera, but as soon as that flash has gone, then you can hide. And I duck right down every time, cover my face. I don't want my mascara running, and I get it every time, so you still get a good photo, which is really good. Right, I've got my photos on there. I do want a little bit of colour, so I'm going to get some watercolours out. Actually, before I get the watercolours out, I'm going to cut some of these strips of hearts as well from another paper. I think the colours will look really pretty there. I noticed that my style's really changing again. I go through phases. I used to only ever create using paints, inks, stencils, sewing and all that kind of thing, and then I went through a cleaner phase. I kind of just keep swapping. I'm definitely going through a messier phase again, and I'm finding it really, really therapeutic. I love it so much. Are you a clean scrapbooker, crafter, journaler, whatever you want to call it, or do you like the messy stuff as well? Leave me a comment and let me know. And do you find that you go through phases as well? So I've got the watercolours out. I am going to add a little bit of water to the page. And I am going to use this one here, which is Amaranth, I think. Oh, it's quite purpley. No, I want more of a pink. I always feel when I'm doing Disney pages that I need lots of colour. And I always feel very inspired to use lots of colour. I get quite excited by these pages. So going back to water rides, are you a water ride person? Do you love a water ride? I very rarely say no to a water ride. I do have a bit of an issue with the ones in Universal. The one in Universal in Orlando. They are so extreme. Extreme in terms of how wet you get. If you haven't seen them, I will actually insert a video just in case you aren't familiar. It was when we went on the Popeye ride, in Orlando, I think it was 2017, you seriously just get so wet. It's crazy, to the point where you come off looking like you've had a shower. It's that bad. Thankfully in Disney I've never actually had a ride quite like that. They've always been reasonably tame. There's a nice bit of wet when it's a really hot day, but we've never come off drenched. Right, that's my page. As you saw, I used more of the thicker when it's just gone into the paint at the top there. And then I've kind of let it fade and used less at the bottom, so you've kind of got a bit of an ombre effect there, which I really like. I'm not going to mop that up with the kitchen towel this time. I am actually going to leave that because I want the colours. When you blot it down with kitchen towel, you do take a lot of the colour off and it fades, which is often I really like, but actually I love it how it is, so I'm going to leave it be, and I'm going to go and type out some journaling to go along the bottom. So I've done my printing. As you know, if you've watched my videos before, I do like to quite often print my journaling in a typewriter font. I have got a typewriter, but it's just so much quicker to do this. And then I can cut out into strips. I'm going to use this as my title, and I can cut my journaling into strips and pop it down here. I am going to use this sticker from the kit. I think this will add a nice bit of colour, and I'm going to pop Splash Mountain on there. So yes, tell me if you are a fan of the water rides. Do you wear ponchos on a water ride? Do you just go for it and just laugh and have your head held high, arms in the air? Do you pose for the cameras? Do you sit them out? Are you the bag holder? I want to know what your attitude is towards the water rides. I've also got the embellishment postcard here from the kit, which I am going to cut out and use. That's the whole idea behind this piece, that you can actually cut it out and use it to embellish your pages. I've got grubby hands here. I should have maybe washed them beforehand. If you're a subscriber, you also get a code in your kit to download these for free, so you can print them off and use them as many times as you wish. I quite like the idea of sticking that out over there. I like having bits and pieces that I can do that with. Do you know though what I might do? I think I am going to completely cut this out and use it in this way instead. And now I'm going to pop it here. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to pop this in at the side here. A little bit of sticky tape on that one, and I'm going to cut out the speech bubble as well. Whenever I cut anything out, I always like to leave a little bit of an edge, and while I'm at it, I am going to do the same with this heart here. I think the blue will be a really nice addition to the page. I love contrasting colours. For me, it's just really makes a page look happy. So the blues and pinks I am absolutely loving. There we go. And I think I'll pop that one down here. This page is coming together really nicely now. I'm really happy. I am just going to go around everything with my black Uniball pen, just like I have done with the photos. And then I've got one more thing and then I'm finished. And that's all done. And the very last thing I wanted to do was to use a couple of the wooden arrows from the kit. And I am going to stick them on with some PVA glue like this, so that makes a point of the title work there. And I was going to do that one towards the little heart there. I've written on there, always at the front, hoping to get wet. Do you have anyone in your family that particularly is the opposite to everyone else? Like Holly doesn't like getting wet at all. So when we went on the water ride in Disney's California Adventure Park, it's like a rapid ride. She actually sat that one out, which was quite nice actually because she got some video footage. Funnily enough, that's the video that's going up this Friday. If you watch my Disney videos, on Friday it's our first day in Disneyland, or Disney California Adventure it's called. It's the other Disney parks, not the one that's like Magic Kingdom. And we absolutely loved it. I'm going to add a little bit of white paint, I think. I just feel like it needs a little bit of something to brighten it. So I've stuck the arrows back on, and that is my final finished page. I'm really happy with that. I really love the blues, how they contrast with the pink. I'm really, really pleased with that. And before I forget, I said I would give the inside of my Traveler's Notebook a little do-over. I have certainly done that. This morning, this was actually completely empty. And I just felt inspired to actually pop some bits and pieces in here. So it is memorabilia, and I've added extra bits and pieces. I've got a clip. I've got some other little clips. I have found this little coffee clip that I'd had in my saucer on my desk for ages. And then this is one of the Lollipop Box Club paper clips. I'll link that one up below actually, because I've still got some of those. I think they're only a couple of quid with free delivery. And then these I've actually cut from 12 by 12 papers that I had. They're really old American crafts, and I've trimmed them at the top. They're really handy because they're quite deep. They pop in quite nicely so you can actually see. And then I've rounded off the corners as well, and I've done it with that one too. Enjoy. And I think that looks really cute. So I've just got a few little receipts and tickets, and I think that looks really cute. In the back here I've got, like I said, I've got my maps, and I've also got this that was left in our room when we stayed in Bay Lake Tower. And then this is another one of the, I think it's Amy Tangerine from the 12 by 12 papers, American Crafts, and I've just clipped that on the back there. So I think that looks really, really cute. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this video today. I've loved creating this. It's been so fun. It's been really lovely playing with the papers, the paints and everything else, and documenting another Disney story. I would love to hear your views on water rides and how you feel about them. Leave me your comments below. And like I said before, let me know if you are a Disney memory maker as well, and what you do to keep your Disney memories, whether you scrapbook, use Traveler's Notebooks, make mini books, photo albums, whatever it is you do to keep your Disney memories. Please let me know, leave a comment below. Don't forget to go and head over to Chloe and check out Chloe's video. I can't wait to see what she's documented and listen to her Disney stories as well. And I will leave her link below. She's a wonderful creative person, and I always love seeing what she makes. So thank you very much for watching today, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.